Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carrie, for those of you who don't know me. I am doing kind of a surprise book haul today. So I received this big box in the mail and I have been super freaking excited to open it. So I decided to wait to do it on camera, and it is like 8:30 at night. And I am so excited to get into this and find out what goodies I got that I just had to immediately jump in here and let's just get this video done. Hopefully the lighting isn't too terrible. I know all the natural lighting is starting to go down, so I'm gonna try to get this done. I went off and I purchased 10 books. It is the mystery signed paperback book in a bag for $5. I know that in like October of last year, I did videos of this and I went off and bought like 40 or 50 books. Like I bought a huge amount. And so I didn't go quite so crazy this time. I did buy 10. And I have a feeling that some of them are going to be repeats, but I'm hoping that the majority of them are going to be books that I don't have. That's my hope. We'll see. Before I get to that, I want to go ahead and talk about some of the books that I have already purchased. So the first two books that I did buy, I went to Half Price Books and I went ahead and got these two copies. I actually already had them, but they were the library bindings that were used, and I'm actually going to Book Bonanza next year. Karen Remoning is going to be at Book Bonanza, and I really just wanted to have a nice new set, not necessarily library bindings, to have her sign them. And so I went ahead and picked these up. They're in brand new condition. They are perfect, and I am really excited to get all of these signed by her. This is the Fever series. It is a paranormal series about Mac and Barron's. And then it goes off into Danny's story. I kind of lost interest after Danny's story, but I really enjoyed the first 5 or 6 books in the Fever series. And I do need to do a reread. It has been quite a while since I've read about Mac and Barron's, but I do want to go ahead and jump in and reread these very soon. The next book I have to talk about is my monthly bookworm box. I get this every single month. I just get like the very basic, like I just get the book. You can have like swag and pin mates and all these like little cute stuff, paraphernalia stuff that comes with it. But I honestly don't have the room to have all those like little collectible things. Like I need the room on my bookshelves for books. I'm already double shelving all of my books as it is, and I just don't have the room for all of those cutesy little things to add. So I don't get them. I just get the book. This month's book is arranged by R.K. Lilly. Once again, these are always come in signed by the author. It has a little letter from the author as well, kind of describing why she picked this book. This specific book is a Marriage of Convenience. It is a girl who is a virgin who basically sells her virginity and her I guess just sells the fact that she's getting married for money. And this groom is kind of, he thinks she's pretty, but it's kind of a hate to love marriage of convenience. I always love a grumpy hero, and he sounds like he's going to be one. So I'm really interested and want to read this one soon. The next book I have to talk about, I got on Amazon. I've already talked about this on my last video with my wrap-up, and that is IOU by Christy Marie. I really enjoyed this book. It is about Maverick and Ansley. Ansley is your typical college girl. She moved and followed her boyfriend to this college town, and she comes home one day. She's working all through. Her roommate and her boyfriend are all working at the same diner while going to college. So she just gets off her shift. She gets off a little early. She goes to her apartment and she finds her boyfriend and her roommate sleeping together. And she goes a little crazy and she ends up needing to find a place to stay. And there's this really awesome firefighter in there who kind of helps her out. He kind of like plays a dad role to her, and I loved him in this book. But the main guy, Maverick, is also a college student He's kind of known around campus for being like the guy you go to for IOUs, or he plays a lot of poker, and so people will try to play card games with him, but everybody seems to owe him something, and so he always gets shit done. And so she goes to him and is asking for his help in finding a place to stay. And it is their romance, and it is adorable, and I just fell in love with this. This is an absolute, it's a new adult romance. It's kind of cliche, but it's just so darn good if you just want something that is just ridiculous and cheesy and new adult and just deliciousness. That's this book. The next book that I bought off of Amazon, this was a pre-order for me, and that was The Rivals by Vi Keelan, and I love the cover. Anything Vi Keelan writes, you know I'm a Vi Keelan fan, so I had to get it. And I don't really know a lot about this, but I've heard that this is kind of like a hate to love, like they are rivals, so I'm always down for a hate to love. The last book that I purchased off of Amazon is going to be Dark Notes by Pam Godwin. I have not read this book yet. I've heard so many things about this book. It was not on Kindle Unlimited. I've been wanting to read it for a long time. I'm not one of those people that, I don't like buying ebooks. I like either just doing Kindle Unlimited straight, or if I'm going to spend money on an ebook, like I want the actual physical book. I'd rather spend $10 more and get an actual physical copy of a book than spend it on an ebook. That's just how I am. So I went ahead and purchased this because I'm desperately wanting to read it. I will be reading this sometime in the next month. And the last book that I have to talk about before I get into my bookworm box is going to be Submission. This is by L.K. Shaw. And I actually won this book in a giveaway on Facebook. It is signed to me, which is awesome. Thank you, L.K. Shaw. I appreciate it. This is definitely a Dom book, which I'm here for. I'm so here for. I cannot wait. I'm going to read this month, and I'm so happy that I won this. All right, so all I did was just take over the top here. I have not looked into this at all. I have no clue what's in it. As you can see, it automatically, it looks like there's a little bit of swag stuff. It looks like mints. Huh. J. Kenner, and there's some like little, that sounds like mints or something. And there is a pin. I'm always using pins, so that always comes in handy. There is, oh, I know who this is. I bet you I know who this is. Kendall Alexander, of course. So Kendall Alexander writes LGBT, specifically male romances that I've read. In fact, I'm actually currently reading one right now, so this is awesome. Love anything Pride. Then we have J. Kenner again. This looks like it's a coaster. And there's another J. Kenner. This is a little dog tag. Hearts of Steel, but I don't know who the author is. I have no clue what this is. It's just like little bottle tops or something. Okay. And then just a little bookmark. All right, so that's it for their little extra swag portion of it. I see a book in here. Okay. So there's one book, I think this is an extra. They always, for some reason, I guess whenever you buy a certain amount or something, they always throw in an extra. So this is Crazy Broken Love by Jennifer Benet. I'm terrible at names, I'm telling you. It is signed by the author. This is just a little extra book, it looks like, that just came with it. First book. Wait With Me by Amy Dawes. I do not have this one. This makes me happy. And, of course, signed by the author. Okay. All of them have this little book in the bag. Okay. Realism by, okay, it says Realism Sugar and Spice Incorporated by Evan Grace. Okay. So this is definitely going to be an opposites attract romance about a guy who is a stockbroker and a girl who is covered in tattoos with lavender hair. And it's also a single mother romance. So I'm totally here for this. I want to read this soon. Next book. Y'all, I'm so excited. This is like Christmas to me. Deal with the Devil by Megan March. I do have this one, but I love Megan March. It is signed, so I'm always down for a Megan March book. Love this. Next book. Okay, so I expected to have some repeats, and there are. This is Love Online by Penelope Ward. I have read this book. It is very different. It's about a guy who goes online and ends up talking to a webcam girl, and they end up, like, he continues to spend money to talk to her and spend time with her, and he ends up meeting her and falls in love with her. Such a very odd concept, but it ended up being a really cute book. Next book. Dear Jane by Kendall Ryan. I won't lie, I'm not a huge fan of Kendall Ryan. I've read several of her books and I've given all of them 3 or less stars. I haven't read this one though, and I don't own it, so maybe I will give her another try, and hopefully this book is better than what I've read in the past. Even if it's with my own money, like, I seriously, this is like waking up on Christmas morning to me, you guys. All right, next book is Stay With Me by K.L. Grayson. I've never heard of this one at all. Oh my gosh, you guys. All right, so this book is about a second chance romance between a guy and a girl who loved each other in high school. I guess he had some kind of an opportunity of a lifetime, and he ended up going away for like 3 months right after high school, and his job like ended up catapulting his career, and he became a country music superstar, and that ended up ending their relationship. And now it's 8 years later, they're both back in this little small town. She's a single mom and she's divorced, and he is a broken country music superstar. Like, this just sounds totally something that I would be up for reading. Like, I'm super excited to read this one. All right, next one. Suit by B.B. Easton. So I believe this is book number 4 in her 44 chapters about 4 men series. I read the 44 chapters about 4 men, which is kind of like it's a book about all 4 of them all combined into one. It's her first book. It is based on her own life. Whew, that book was something else, you guys. I felt very bad for her husband. I think I did a vlog while I was reading it, and it was good, but there was moments where I was just like, I can't believe she wrote about this. I can't believe her husband's okay with her writing about this. It was cringy, but it was very good, and I really like B.B. Easton, so I haven't read this one. I'm excited to have it. Even the Score by Beth Eamon. I do have this one already. Next book is Method by Kate Stewart. I also already have this one. So 4 of them I already have. Not great, but it's okay. Next, and I believe last book. Yes, last book. First Touch by Laura Lynn Page, and of course I already have this one. So I had 5 of the books. I got 5 new ones. Not great. I'm a little sad about that. I'm a little sad at how many of them were repeats, especially because it is their book in a bag mystery box, and they did this last year, just like 6 months ago. So a lot of us that are doing this are probably repeat customers, and they have a lot of the same books in here that they had previously, which kind of sucks that we would get repeats of the same books, but that's okay. I at least got 5 new books, and even then, I mean, even if they were $10 a piece, because I'm gonna have to get rid of a couple of these, then really that's still a really good price. I'm okay with that. And anyway, all right, so that is it for me on my new books. They have a whole bunch of little extra goodies stuff in here, just extra swag. I am going to go ahead and take a closer look at all of these books and put them up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about these books. Is there any of them that are new to you that you might be interested in? Let me know in the comments below. We'll talk there.